This is the outside of the Auto-Trail Imala 720. As I move along, I will firstly come to the mains hookup point. Just remember that when you are removing the mains lead, that you do also push down on this blue lever just here to allow it to release. Directly beneath this we have the grey water drain. And then we have the gas locker. There's room in this gas locker for 2 gas bottles. The regulator just sits here, and on this particular model it is a drive safe regulator. This means that in conjunction with a drive safe hose you can travel with the gas bottle turned on. So basically at this point here there is a crash valve, so if anything was to happen inside, this valve here recognises the sudden drop in gas pressure and cuts the gas off directly at this point. Sometimes these can be triggered accidentally if you go over a bump quite violently, so if you are not getting any gas into the van, just come and hold this button in for about 4 seconds and it will then reset it. My demonstrator bottle does not have a crash pigtail. So basically what a crash pigtail looks like is very similar to this, but it just has a valve here with a button on. So when you install a new gas bottle, once you've turned it on, you need to hold this button down for about 3-4 seconds, which will then allow the gas into the van. If you turn the gas bottle off, when you turn it back on again, you will obviously have to repeat the process. This valve is very similar to the one in here, so if the hose gets severed in any shape or form, it will recognise the sudden drop in gas pressure and cut the gas off at the hose itself. Cassette toilet just here. To remove the cassette, just lift up on the handle and pull towards you. Before use, remove the cap and add your toilet chemical with a small amount of water. This is also where it empties from. Just remember that when you are pouring away, that you also hold the button in just here to release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine, and by turning this part here allows access inside the cassette for additional cleaning. All of these cassettes are now on wheels with extendable handles. On this particular model of motorhome, it does allow you to add a Thetford filter. These filters last approximately about 4 weeks, and they just remove and are replaced just like so. You do not have to use them if you do not want to. Fresh water drain just here, and then directly underneath we have the spare wheel. The spare wheel winds down at this point here, so in the jack and wheel brace kit there is a bar that locates where my finger is. Attach the brace to it and then wind the wheel down. Access underneath the rear seating. And then we have the flue for the Truma boiler. This cover needs to be removed if you are heating your hot water on gas. If you're heating your hot water on mains electricity, it can stay on. At the rear, we have the reverse camera. Then as I come round the other side, again we have access underneath the rear seating. And then we have the fresh water tank fill. As you can see, the cap can be locked. Just pop a hose pipe in to fill up the fresh water tank. Both vents for the fridge, try to avoid obstructing them and spraying too much water at them when washing the motorhome. And then at the top here we have the 2-lay Omni-Store roll-out canopy. To roll it out, take the canopy winding handle, and then it's just a matter of popping it in at this point here, and then you can then begin to wind the canopy out. As you can now see, I've wound the canopy out a short distance. I always prefer to do this and then drop the legs to give the canopy some support, and also that way you're not putting too much stress on the side of the motorhome. The legs themselves just sit inside the canopy. Come to this point here, and with your thumb just slide it out like so. Then take the leg and drop it down. Then flap this lever up, drop the leg to the ground and get the canopy at the height you require, and then just push up to lock it into place. Then if I do exactly the same again with the other leg, and now that the canopy is supported, I can continue to wind the canopy out, walking the legs as I go. So now the canopy is fully wound out. Try to avoid use in high winds, as it does run the risk of being flipped over the top of the motorhome. On this particular model, you can also come to these sections just here. If you just get your thumb and just slightly push up, it will then release it, and you can then pop these across and then lock them into place, and it will then give it some more support. As you can see, the canopy doesn't have to be fully wound out to use these. When it comes to putting the canopy away, fold these sections back again, and then it's just a matter of winding the canopy back in to the point roughly where the legs were dropped, pop the legs away, and then continue to wind until it will not wind any further. As you can see, the handle can get stuck. If you get it like this, just push it up, twist it round, and it will then drop back out again. Make sure that this is flat, and then just push it back in. And then if I do exactly the same again, the entrance step is electric, and it just operates inside the door just here. It will also automatically put itself away when the engine has been started, but always just make sure that it has. Diesel fill just here, and the cap unlocks on the ignition key. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here. jack and wheel brace kit all underneath the passenger seat, and the vehicle battery just sits underneath the floor of the cab, and bonnet release is just here.